One of the questions we got was, can the emetophobia supplement make the emetophobia worse? It's a great question. Anyone with an anxious child knows that if something triggers the anxiety, um, it can, it obviously can be very distressing. That may add into the phobia and can set off sort of a long course of anxiety as a result. And usually with the emetophobia, or frequently with the emetophobia, the phobia starts originally because of some sort of experience of observing others throwing up or throwing up yourself. So it's a great question. And the answer to it is yes, it could under certain conditions. One young patient I worked with was seeing a therapist, and the therapist, uh, rightly so, was going to begin the process of exposure. And the therapist went through several levels of the exposure, and the kid looked okay. He did this all in one session, and so afterwards, um, he completely had a meltdown. The phobia sort of escalated to a new level and lasted that way for a couple months. So what went wrong? um, um, in that particular case, the therapist did, I might have too, because the child seemed fine. The therapist covered way too much, way too fast. But here's the key thing: there wasn't an opportunity to repeat it. Because at that point, there's no way that kid was going to go back and work on that. So if you uh, uh, push too much, go too far, and you don't have a chance to repeat the exposure, yeah, it can kick the phobia up. Um, because exposure requires that you get anxious. Otherwise, it's not going to have the effect. But you must have a chance to repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, um, until someone's able to tolerate it without too much distress, and hopefully even to the point where it doesn't bother them at all.